Oh, these stupid young people. When will they learn? They're eating Tide Pods, for God's sakes. First, it started with hula hoops and being outraged over social injustice. Obviously, older people are the superior creature. Matter of fact, for instance, we obviously know how to ingest laundry detergent, not these stupid Tide Pods. To you. Ugh. It costs a lot more money to pump your stomach than I thought it did. Oh well. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Manos, where I sit down and talk to you about the stuff that happened in geek culture last week. So, how'd it go? How are you doing? I think I'm fine. There's a couple things that were pretty exciting that came up this week. Number one, let's get right into it. Brie Larson picks as Captain Marvel on set of the new film that they're shooting seriously right now. And there is some cool pictures of it online. Marvel did some tweeting. Let's see. Ever since she was cast as Carol Danvers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we've been on the edge of our seats waiting for her arrival on the big screen. And they dropped these pictures with her in her battle suit, apparently on the streets of wherever she's supposed to be. And the film takes place in the 90s. The costume looks pretty awesome. It is pretty much on par with her suit in the current comics, and also the design illustrations they were doing some promotions with. Now, many people have noticed that the color scheme is different than her usual red, blue, and gold. That's from what I know of Captain Marvel, because I read the comic, and the history of the character, not to mention what we're looking at as far as the film. I'm going to make an assumption that since Captain Marvel, that's a really good name, is in the movie, I'm making this assumption that he is going to sort of be her mentor after she gains these powers. Maybe they're doing some sort of work for the Kree Empire or something like that. And she eventually adopts the name, I'm assuming, after the original Captain Marvel perishes or whatever is going to happen to him. And then she'll adopt the colors that we're more familiar with at the end of the film. That's at least my assumption. I don't know, that's the way I would have done it. Because, of course, you know, the comic books, there's not one, like, you know, specific story arc which you can adapt perfectly to film. So I think that's probably the way they're going to be going. It looks awesome. It's the kind of Kree colors. I am hoping very much that we'll get to see maybe some of the stuff we heard about in kind of the backstory of Ronan the Accuser from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. I'm hoping we'll see some of that stuff, since this is taking place in the 90s. And we're shooting forward eventually, I guess, in the second film or next time she appears. Or at the very end of the film, whatever they're going to be doing. I am super excited about this. I am about as excited as I was for the first Captain America film. I think she looks great. It's kind of hilarious that they kind of have her in a 90s the Rachel haircut. That's pretty cool. So I'm all set. I hope you're liking it. And number two on the stories that I saw this week is the Oscar nominations. I'm a big film dork, and the Oscars are something I always look forward to. It's my favorite of the award shows. And this year, what's very cool is we had two nominations in the Best Picture category that come from the horror and dark fantasy or horror categories. They're in Best Pictures. The Best Pictures are, let's see, Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Yes, The Shape of Water by Del Toro and Get Out by Jordan Peele. That's amazing. I can maybe name on one hand how many horror or genre films that have been in the Best Picture category, and this year we got 2. That's fantastic. They actually have a good chance of winning. Because, here's the thing, they're not only extremely well done genre bending horror films, they also have some social message. And guess what? Oscar loves that. They love to pat themselves on the back and go, hey, see, we're socially conscious. We recognize this movie. Yeah, so I'm going to make it as a prediction. If it is one of those 2, it'll probably be Shape of Water. It'd be great if it was Get Out. Either one of those would be a huge victory. Matter of fact, the fact that they're both nominated is a huge victory. I'm very excited about that. Also, for us comic geeks, we got Logan. It got a nod for Best Adapted Screenplay. I know a lot of people were hoping that it would get Best Picture, but that's Best Screenplay is a decent bone. We'll take it. And there were some people that were upset that Wonder Woman got totally snubbed, didn't get any kind of awards whatsoever. And I'll be honest with you, as a big Wonder Woman fan, as a fan of the film, I love the movie. I think it's great. I'm okay. I'm not upset because I'll be honest with you. I can't see Godot like getting a nomination over pushing out any of those 5 actresses who are nominated. I think those are all great performances. I can't trade one of those. I just can't. Also with the films as well. This was a very strong year film-wise. I know everybody bitches about reboots and shit like that, and the Emoji Movie, which apparently destroyed the Earth. I don't know, but this was a strong year for movies, and there was some really good stuff. So a lot of people made comparisons of Wonder Woman to Superman the movie. I know that's what Patty Jenkins' artistic model was that she was invoking. That was a big inspiration for her. But to be honest, the film almost reminds me of Batman '89, where that film came out. It was a huge game changer for comic book films. It was also not 100% critically beloved at the time. There were some people going, it's okay. And some people going, this is the best thing ever, shut up. They're also, like I said, game changers, where Wonder Woman has definitely changed not only the DCU, but I think it's having an effect with other comic book films, not to mention films with female leads. I'm pretty certain Black Widow got onto the front burner because of this movie. So, yeah, you take your victories where you can. And not to mention, the Oscars, I don't know if geeks know this or not, but they're not fans of superhero movies. Watch the Oscars. The last couple years, they have been taking pot shots at superhero films. They act like they're the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Now, my God, I can't believe they're out. Oh, thank God these movies are out that we can nominate. It seems like the establishments in Hollywood are really bitter that they kind of have to depend on superhero films, that they're the number one genre right now. And they're so pissed off about it. So, yeah, the fact that Logan got a adapted screenplay nomination is a victory. And it's not going to win. But hey, the fact that it got it is at least them throwing a bone like, okay, I guess that one was good. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel on that. Next on the news is a comic book story here. There's a new creative team on The Champions. Writer Jim Snub and artist Sean Isaacsy. Excuse me if I flub that name. They'll be taking over Champions with April's issue 19. They'll usher in a new era that will see the team welcome new members like the Unstoppable Wasp and Ironheart, as well as new challenges in dealing with interpersonal drama, classic soap opera style elements, and that are a hallmark of any Marvel team. I'm really sorry to see the original team go. The book has definitely made a impression on fans. I love the fact that it still has that dynamic between Miss Marvel, the new Nova, and Miles Morales Spider-Man. To be honest, they're almost the trinity of the new Marvel. And they're the reason I actually stopped reading Avengers when they left the books. I'm like, well, really was kind of excited about them. So when they jumped off and did the spinoff, I actually followed them into Champions. Now, let's see. Some fans aren't really excited about Ramos's art. Some people just think it's way too cartoony. I enjoy it. It's a fun-looking style. I always embrace comic artists who have a very visual, noticeable, original style, and definitely he is one of those. I am concerned. I hope the book doesn't take a turn away from the usual kind of social political aspect that it had. I thought that was kind of an important aspect of the book. So I'm hoping that they're not steering away from this. I know there are some people in Marvel who are just totally chicken shit about that stuff. Look, the racists will always complain about something. So, might as well just stay true to yourself, Marvel. So I've been looking at some of the art examples that the new artist has. The book looks like it's going to be in good hands. I'm not familiar with the writer, so I can't really say anything about him, but the art looks really solid. So I'm excited to start picking up the new issues starting in April. And also the fact that we have Ironheart and the new Wasp showing up on the team. Actually, to be honest, I thought Wasp was going to be on the team originally. See, she's a next generation teenage version of the Wasp. I definitely thought she was going to be part of that. So now she is. And I'm digging Ironheart too. I haven't had a chance to really get too exposed to the character, so we'll check it out. So that's coming in April. Now, that's it for the little news portion. I'm going to do a couple of new things here. First off, it's time for everybody's favorite segment out of all 2 episodes. Get on the poll! And this week's poll was... this was on my Twitter. And I polled my Twitter followers. Hey, who do you think's going to die in Avengers Infinity War? And this is how it came out. Captain America won that poll. 50% of those who answered the poll thought that he might die in this film. Pepper Potts came in second at 20%, and rounding out as a tie, 15% each, is War Machine and Thanos. Villains tend to die in their movies, go figure. So, what do you think who might die in the film? You can definitely throw me a comment below. And I'm going to do a new poll on my Twitter, and I'm going to announce it right here. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, hey, that new Doomsday Clock is a thing, right? Over at DC Comics. Some fans are super pissed off that they're kind of blending in the Watchmen and even, maybe tweaking the original story. What do you think of Doomsday Clock so far? Yay or nay? There is a poll going on my Twitter, so answer yes or no, and we'll talk about it next week and see how that went. And we got one more thing to go, and it is the Manos Comic of the Week. And actually, I have 2 comics of the week. It is the first 2 issues of Marvel 2-in-1 Thing and Human Torch by Chip Zdarsky. And forgive me if I butcher your name, Jim Cherling. And this is picking up where the Thing and Human Torch have been since Reed, Sue, and the kids have either died or disappeared or got put in legal limbo, because we all know what's going on with the whole bullshit between Marvel, Disney, and Fox. Here's my thoughts on that. This is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not a good business person, obviously. But Marvel's feud with Fox over the film rights of Fantastic Four and X-Men have been... This is the strangest thing I've ever seen, because Marvel has been taking this idea that, hey, we're not going to promote your movies by making our comic books, the ones we've been making for 50 years and still make money on and have a huge fan base. So, hey, we're going to, get rid of them. Pfft. Essentially, I'm looking at Marvel doing, hey, give me back the film rights or I blow my head off. They've had some trouble doing that with X-Men, because X-Men was so huge and was so valuable. But Fantastic Four was a little bit more financially vulnerable to do that too. With the exception of a couple of blips here and there, like the Jonathan Hickman years, Yeah, they weren't the quite focus of they weren't quite the flagship of Marvel like they once were in the 60s, 70s, and maybe 80s. So yeah, they were really vulnerable, and it was easy to kind of disappear them, which sucks because I love the Fantastic Four, and for years, even before Marvel kind of lost them, they were one of my favorite books. I am a huge fan of the John Byrne years, and they're one of my favorite things about superheroes. You know, they're take a look at what's so great about The Incredibles and add a cool sci-fi theme to it, where The Incredibles does not. And yeah, you have one of the coolest superhero books in the world. It was obviously the world's greatest comic magazine, which is what the tagline was for years, even when it wasn't. There has also been a void that's been left over the last few years. Matter of fact, I even got in a conversation at a Comic-Con with the writer of The Unstoppable Wasp, and one of the things he wanted to do was create a optimistic, fun superhero series involving science, because Fantastic Four wasn't around, so he wanted to kind of fill that void with the Unstoppable Wasp title. Yeah, there is a need and a want for this thing. Okay, now back to this. Chip Zdarsky is awesome. He is the co-creator of Sex Criminals for Image, one of my favorite Image titles of the last few years. And he's been working over here at Marvel. He has a cool run going on with Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and essentially Ben Grimm gets this device from Doom, of all people, because it's from Reed, it's to Ben, but Doom can't open it, and it has to be opened by Ben. He's the only one who can open it, and it's a hologram message. He's recorded a whole bunch because he's fucking Reed Richards, and it's about the multiverse and how he and Johnny can travel and still have adventures. Johnny is going depressed as shit. He's starting to lose his powers. You know, he lost Reed and his sister and his nephew and niece. And he doesn't feel like this. He's lost his career as a superhero, it feels like. And he has been at a depressed state in issue 1. And Ben tells him about it, and he kind of fibs a little bit, where he says, hey, Reed and Sue might be alive. Let's go find them. So they go on to this quest, searching for these pieces that are going to put together this ability to go through the multiverse. And Doom knows he's lying. And of course we pick up here where we get this awesome fight with the Mole Man and his monsters, a meeting with Doom, and who, by the way, Doom is currently doing the fake Iron Man thing. Not reading that book, so I'm not quite sure what he's up to, but he's trying to make everybody think he's a hero. Love the tension between him and Ben in these issues, because Doom's thing has always been against Reed, and Ben's always been, Reed's stupid best friend. But this is between these two, and the interplay between them is awesome. We get to see a fantastic elongated flashback to the college days of Doom beating out Reed at a competition where he may have cheated. Not cheated with what he was making, but kind of cheated in a way of distracting Reed, where he didn't get to work on his project as hard as he was working. And then Ben talks him into playing a really childish prank on him, and it's fantastic. This is the kind of thing I love. I'm glad that the focus is a little bit more on Ben Grimm. He's been one of my favorite characters. He's my favorite Fantastic Four character. So, good lord, this is great stuff. I highly recommend seeking this out, especially if you're an old Fantastic Four fan. If you want to see the characters back, pick these up. Marvel might get the message that maybe we should bring the team back. And so far, I vote for Chip Zdarsky to be the writer of the book. He's really excellent. I think that's it for now for this week, and leave a comment below if there's anything newsworthy you think I should talk about next week. Leave it below and we'll talk about it. And until next time, push the button, Lindsay. Hey everyone, support The Real Manos on Patreon, or I'll kill you.